Well, here I am back again after a very long time with a bit of spare time to try and make something. Well, that was clever. Put the camera out of focus as soon as I get here. So I've had to give up a lot of my crafting simply because I'm just not well enough to do it. But I'm going to see if I can do this in a few sessions, and I'm kind of going to wing it. So we'll see how this progresses. So I'm going to start off with 2mm grey board. This is A4 size. And you know me, I usually work in inches, so I'm going to work in inches. And I'm going to start off with the first couple of pieces. I'm going to measure down 2 inches on each side. Oh dear, I think I'm going to have to go and get my glasses. Of course, a sharp point on pencil would probably help. Right, I'm just going to draw a line on that just to make it slightly easier for myself. Okay, right, next I'm going to measure. Actually, I think I might want that slightly more, maybe 3 inches. Yeah, I'm going to have this 3 inches, so ignore that 2-inch mark, and let's go for 3 inches. I'm going to try not to get my head in the way as much as I can. So we measure down 3 inches. Each side. And then across the top, I'm going to measure in 1.5 inches on each side. This is terrible. I can't see a thing. Was that an actual 1.5 inches? It was 1.5 inches. Okay. See, I need my glasses. My eyesight's become very, very bad. I've been diagnosed with a brain problem, and it's affecting my eyesight. Right, so I'm going to draw a line from that 1.5 inch mark in down to that 3 inch mark on both sides. Okay, and go ahead and cut one side off. Now you only need to cut one side really, don't do both without measuring them, so very carefully cut one side off and then flip this over to the other side, line it up, and you see that was quite a lot out from my original mark here, which is why I think it's best to do it this way, making sure that is properly up. Yeah, can you see there is actually, that's quite a lot out. So then this and this should be near as damn it exactly the same. So you know now that both of these sides are exactly equal. I'm going to get my second piece. I'm just going to line it up one on top of the other and do exactly the same, using the first cut one as a template. Cut the next one. So now you have two pieces that are this shape. Now, I may not be making an album for this. This may just be a box. So we shall see. And I'm going to have to go through my box of bits. You'll know that I keep all my little offcuts and everything. But for this one now, I have to decide how much I want to cut off the bottom. Okay, as I'm still working in inches, let's go 4. I'm going to go 4 inches from the, what did I do with my pencil? Okay, I use a pen, which probably slightly more accurate for me anyway. So 4 inches up from the bottom. Same on this side, 4 inches. You can hear any strange noises, I apologise, it is the dog. So let's join those up. And this is just on one piece, not both of them, just on the one piece. So it's a really balmy night, as in balmy, not barmy, though in this area it could be both. So my windows are open, so I do apologise for the sounds. Right, so that 4-inch piece at the bottom, I'm going to cut off, but not discard it. I'm going to keep that bit. Yeah, I'm going to keep that bit there. So I now have 2 pieces like that. Now then, with my another piece of board, I should actually check to see if I've got any spare. So while I do that, I'm going to pause this and then I'll be back if I can find any bits and pieces of spare grey board. I have found offcuts. So what you next want to do is the 4-inch piece that you cut off the bottom, use that as a template to make another one exactly the same size. And then you want one that is 4 inches wide, and measure this gap here. You want one of those as well. Then you want, that's that bit there, see, so you want, so it has to fit here. This one has to fit here, and you need 2 of these. If I can find them, 2 of these. 1, 2. Okay, you also want to cut out another one exactly the same as this one with the 4 inches cut off the bottom. Okay, so you want 2 of those, 2 of those, 1 of those, and you've got the one big back piece. And for that, the 3 inches that you cut down here, you want to cut 3 inches off a full length piece so that it fits at the side here, and you need 2 of those, 1, 2. Then you need a piece that's going to fit into here, so I've got 2 of those. I've got two of those, right? So now you want to measure this bit here, and the easiest way for me to do it is to just simply eyeball it. We know that I only eyeball things. Okay. Right. I'm going to use this ruler because this one, oops, has got the non-slip backing on. So although the camera is above me, what I see is to this side of me, and it's been so long since I've made a tutorial that I am so out of practice. So you'll have to bear with me. Okay, and of course you're going to want two of these pieces. So one, two. So you need, let's go through this again. One that fits in at the top here. One each that fits in to the side here. Okay. One each that fits in to the sides here. So that's another two pieces there. Then you want two pieces that fit to the bottom here. And you want two pieces which is the same as your back piece, because this is a back piece, but with the 4 inches cut off the bottom, and you want two of those. Okay, so that's your basic bits to make the shell. So let's put all this to one side for a moment, because now I want to work on these bits. So let's put that to one side. Right, so take one of these, and I already marked one out here, but this isn't quite right. So what you want to do, so you've got two exactly the same. So it's an A4 piece with 4 inches cut off the bottom, and with 1.5 inches measured from the side here, and is it 3 inches that way? How silly, I can't remember. Yep, 3 inches that way. So that little triangle cut off there. So you make a second one. Now then, on one of them, it matters not which, you need to grab a ruler and very carefully mark out, and I'm going to go about 3/16 of an inch all the way round the outside, roughly. Looks about right to me. Now I suggest you mark it all first, and don't just mark a piece and cut it and then mark a piece and cut it, because, well, I know I'm not as accurate as most other people, but it does make me go very, very wrong. Okay, so you mark that. If 1/4 of an inch is easier for you, make it 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch, but this is approximately 3/16 of an inch. Now that bit that you've just marked, so all of this edge, this 3/16 of an edge, I want you to cut off. So you have got exactly the same as you started off with, but 3/16 of an inch smaller all the way around. Okay. You may want to fast forward this bit. Last two bits. There we go. So now you've got one piece that will fit in exactly inside your original piece. Okay, so those are going to be our basic pieces. So now I want to make some paper hinges ready. So I'm going to get some thin-ish card, folded in half with double-sided sticky tape on either side, so I can join this together. So I'm going to go, and it doesn't matter what colour they are, because I'm going to be covering this anyway. So hopefully, fingers crossed here. I've got a rough idea in my head. So I'm going to go and get all of those paper hinges ready, and then I will be back and we'll start putting this, the basic of it, together. Well, I found them. Lots and lots of just pieces of white card with double-sided sticky tape on. So you take your large, what I'm going to call your back piece, and you put a hinge. Let's get this out slightly. That's better. Okay, and you get your every edge with basically a hinge on it. Next, you're going to want to put on your other pieces. You won't be needing these two bits for the moment, so put those to one side, but you will be needing everything else. So yeah, let's get everything else put on. So we're going to start with the top, or any place you want to, and you know the rules, you leave the gap in the middle so that it fits in. Oh, this is not too good, look at that. Okay, because this has been lying around for quite a while now, well over a year, I think some of the stickies kind of, so I'm going to burnish all the sticky bits, so hopefully I'll get better grip on there. Okay, so that's the top one done. Now for the sides. You know, I've got my glasses, they are on top of my head. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Maybe if I wore them, it might be slightly easier. So you leave the gap. 1, 2. Let's get that burnished. Now, I've been looking online and I've realised that mini albums and boxes have got more and more elaborate. I kind of got to the conclusion that really, you know, people are making things. I'm not saying they're not beautiful, but in a lot of cases people are making things just for the sake of making them because they can be made. And I have a problem with space in my house, as in there's not enough of it. So I don't want to keep making all these beautiful albums and have nowhere to put them. So this is why I'm making this. I do have another idea that I want to make with, basically I want to upcycle some really cheap photo albums, and I've got a funny feeling that the idea I've got someone else has already had, but never mind, you know, it can still be done. But yeah, so I wanted to make something that was going to save me space rather than just take up a lot of space. Okay, glasses are on. Whoa. That made a difference. Okay. Let's get those bits burnished as well. Okay, so that's your basic bit for the back. Now, glasses up again. What we have to do is take your larger one, line it up, and what you're going to want to do now is put this one on. So what I'm going to do is, excuse me, I'm going to put this, line this up and put this just a tad below that bit there. So I know then that that will go here. Okay, so next I would like to make some more hinges, and I want to measure these bits here roughly. So because all this, most of this is going to be covered or you're not going to see it, I'm not too bothered about aesthetics at the moment. You know, it's just going to hopefully come together. I'm flicking bits all over the place here. Okay. That may be slightly too long. Okay, this one can go here. Well, that was clever. I put that one on that side instead. I don't think it'll matter really. Okay, and one for across the bottom here. which I've also made too long. But you know me, eyeballing is so much more fun than actual measuring. Okay, so there's my basics. I have to decide if I'm going to put it on the inside or the outside. I wanted it on that way. Oh, it'll be okay. Just have to lift this one up slightly. Okay, so now I want to put all the way around here as well. So I'm going to put double-sided tape and a hinge here on both sides, here on both sides, and here at the top. So I've done that. When I've done that, I'll be back. Okay, that's that bit done. Before I carry on, this bit here, which is going in the middle bit here, you need to take off 2 times the width of this. I hope you can hear me okay. I'm sitting down, so you have to take off 4 mils off the edge of here, or else it's not going to fit. So you measure twice the depth of that, and then cut it off. Okay, now you want to make a hinge for this piece. Like I said before, the good thing about this one is you don't need to worry, because you're going to cover it, paint it. It doesn't matter what colour the hinges are, or the join pieces, whatever you want to call them. Right, and then you're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hinges at 4 inches long each. So let's quickly get those measured out ready. Too short. 1, 2, 3, 4, and as you can see, all of these hinge pieces are just made out of scrap, so they're all different widths, and you know, but I'm not being precious about it. I'm just trying to use up stuff that I've partially used in other projects. Okay, so those I will set aside just for a moment with the bit that you've just made shorter. Let's get back to the main piece. So first things first, I'm going to start with the bottom here. Now I want, this is the base at the back, I want to make sure that all the pieces that I'm adding are sitting on top of that baseboard. Okay, so start with that one. And make sure it's sat on the top. Okay. Now I'm going to do these edges. I am going to do these edges. Oh dear. Once again, I should try wearing my glasses in front of my eyes instead of just on top of my head. Actually, you're going to need 12 of these 4-inch strips, but that's okay for now. Okay, so now I want to fold these bits in both sides. 1, 2, and it will be a bit jiggly because obviously I haven't allowed for the fact that yeah, these corners are going to meet, so you're going to have like a little space here, if you like. You'll know what I mean. I haven't allowed for these to overlap at all, so they're just going to meet corner to corner. Okay, so you get like this little right angled gap just here. Okay, next actually, before I do that, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding the inside strips here and here. Let's just get those ready. 1, 2, and this is just for strength. So I'm not going to cover the front edge here. That won't need to be done. So edge to edge. Would have forgot my crease in the right place, but I didn't, but it should be okay. No, wonky just means artisan. Okay, corner to corner. Right, just going to stand that up for a moment and make sure that's very well burnished so that it's going to hold, and the little bits I've got poking out the top I am just going to cut off. She says, I'm not cutting them off. Okay, then what did I do with my paper tool? It's right there in front of my face. Okay, next, I'm not even going to bother mitering the corners on this. This one is going on the outside, so I'm going to make sure it is lined up, and then one, and then this one as well. The thing is, I expect you've all seen 1,000 videos like this, so you probably know exactly what to do anyway. Okay, so now I want to get my next pieces ready for the inside here. So what did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to need some more. There we go. Okay. 1, 2. That's pretty good. Okay, so let's just get these bits ready first. I always think this is the boring bit, the making. I mean, it's kind of nice in your head when you wonder how things are going to turn out when you haven't got a plan. And I haven't even got a rough plan. I haven't written anything down. This is just winging it. And as we know from past videos, isn't always the brightest thing for me to do. Okay, let's get this one done first. Make sure it's on the top. And there we go. And then this side. And then last but not least, I'm going to put this bit up as well. And then actually, no I'm not. I'm going to make the hinges first. I know this is the boring bit. And the messy bit. Trust me, if I zoomed this out, you would see what a terribly messy person I can be. But if you can't make a mess whilst you're crafting, then can you make a mess? Okay, let's get me backing off. And then, hopefully, this will just fit in here. One. Oops. 2. Okay, so now I've got something that looks slightly like a coffin, actually. Let's get all those edges burnished. Okay. Ta-da! That's actually quite solid already. Now I'm just going to add on the outside hinges. Hinges? to that bit. And I haven't been not crafting since I've been away. I do actually have another channel, and I do quite a lot of work on that channel. But it's a different kind of crafty thing. And if any of you know who I am, then you'll know exactly what I mean. So 4-inch pieces, and I want one. Close enough. I'm not actually too fussed about how long they are. It's just for a little bit of strength and just to make it easier for when I do cover it. That's all. That one's too long, but I can cut it off. That's not going to be a problem. Now for the last one here, I do realise sometimes when I listen to myself back just how much of a Hampshire accent I really do have. But nothing wrong with that. Be proud of where you come from. Okay. Oh, that wasn't very good. That does look like it's slightly wider, but it should be okay. Let's just get these bits off. There we go. Now for this bit in the centre, I'm going to need I'm going to need 4 more 4cm pieces. But first I need to put this bit on here. Now hopefully this bit was put on straight and that is how I will know that the rest of it is straight. Okay. Should have cut a little bit off the top, but that's going to be okay. Okay. So next, I need 4 pieces. To make sure that's nice and secure. So this is, I'm going to kind of eyeball it. So I may have to stand up for this one. one. Heavens to Betsy, I'm flapping on this one. Okay. That is actually slightly off. You see, there's a little gap that side. So what I'm going to have to do quickly is loosen it that side, loosen it this side, and jiggle that across a bit. That's better. Now, what I will do when I've finished putting this together, just this bit, I will put some extra glue on that. I think that looks about even. One way to find out. That is even. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just put that down first and then put these other two bits on. Then get some glue down here. So there's probably one or two of you thought, oh look, she's back with another video, I'm going to watch that, and now you're regretting it. Oh dear, such is life. Okay. Now that doesn't look straight, but I'm sure it is. Well, I'm not sure it is straight, but you know. Okay, that is the beginning basics. How easy peasy was that? Okay, so basically what we are going to have is this is going to be right, this is going to be your door. This is the cupboard door that's going to open. Ta-da! I was going to have it as two. Oh, I could have it as two doors. I didn't think about that. No, it's going to be one door. Oh, two doors would be really cute. No, it's going to be one door. One door. One door that opens. And then this is going to be a drawer. It's going to be a door with a shelf or two, and this will be a drawer. So if you want to put an album in it, you can either miss out the shelves and put an album that's this shape. So you could use your smaller one here as a template to make the cover and then the pages, or you can make a small album to go in here. But what I shall be doing for the moment is the box. My brain is not working. So in the next one, I will be making the drawer and attaching a shelf and the door the door. So you're going to need some door furniture, and you know, like, you're going to need some hinges and a sweet little doorknob and a little drawer handle here. And also this is all going to be covered in old book paper. Now, once again, yes, it's horrible to rip up a book, but these are pound store books, and I always buy 2 or 3 of them so that I've got one to read and a couple to tear up. And at that price, I don't feel so awful about it. And most of them are actually Charles Dickens books. So I know there's going to be no bad language shown on it. So there we go. That is rather long but simple part 1, and I'll be back very soon for part 2. Thanks for watching. I'll be back soon. Bye.